The movie takes us back in time, about 4 billion years ago, when our planet was covered in water and there was no sign of life yet. Suddenly, something unknown comes hurtling down from the sky and smashes into the ocean with a big crash. In present-day Bhutan, there is a family filled with sorrow as they mourn the loss of their son. They feel helpless, unable to provide any assistance to their son or find peace for themselves. Overwhelmed by grief, the mother steps out of their tent and cries to the skies. It is in this heartbreaking moment that something mysterious emerges from deep within the earth, an object whose origin is unknown. This enigmatic presence starts to impact the weather and everything in its surroundings, adding to the already overwhelming emotions of the grieving family. In a heartwarming turn of events, just moments after, the child rises from his bed and rushes to his parents, bringing them immense joy and disbelief. Witnessing this miraculous occurrence, not only his parents, but also the entire community are filled with a deep sense of gratitude and faith. They humbly bow their heads in prayer, acknowledging the power and wonder of this extraordinary moment. In Juarez, Mexico, Dr. Rand, who is an engineer, now finds himself in a doctor's office, seeking answers about his health. He anxiously asks the doctor about his remaining time before he passes away. The doctor shares the news that he may have around 12 months, possibly even more. Despite this uncertain prognosis, Dr. Rand bids farewell to the doctor and decides to drive back to the United States, even though the doctor warns him of the potential dangers that lie ahead. Dr. KC gets a voice message from the fertility clinic that the result from insemination was negative. Moments later, Dr. KC gets a call from her boss and learns of the atmospheric discharge originating from Bhutan that wiped out power across the globe inside the NSA headquarters. A member shares stories from the locals about miraculous healings and people rising from the dead. Despite one member's disagreement, the others decided to send a research team, accompanied by a small number of military personnel, to investigate these accounts. As Dr. Rand leaves on his journey back to the United States, an unfortunate incident occurs when his car suddenly breaks down on the road. To add to his misfortune, he becomes the target of a group of aggressive bandits who launch an attack on him. The situation intensifies as Dr. Rand manages to provoke the bandits, leading them to draw a gun with the intent to harm him. However, in a stroke of luck, precisely at that moment, a military helicopter appears, hovering above the scene, causing the bandits to flee from the area in fear. Continuing his voyage, Dr. Rand encounters another individual named Dr. KC. Along their journey, Dr. KC emphasizes that she can only reveal the reasons behind the NSA's need for Dr. Rand's assistance once they arrive at their destination. A few moments later, the plane reaches the site and they look at the tornado-shaped dark object hovering below. Dr. Rand asks what it is, but Dr. KC informs him that no one knows after landing. Dr. KC provides Dr. Rand with crucial information. She explains that the enigmatic object emerged from the Earth approximately 60 hours ago. Intrigued by this revelation, Dr. Rand starts formulating a hypothesis. He speculates that the object must be utilizing the Earth's gravity in a unique way, generating an anti-gravitational field that allows it to remain suspended in the air. This leads him to suggest that the object possesses highly advanced gyroscopes, surpassing any technological advancements humanity has. Upon receiving the files from the military about the object, Dr. Rand finds himself equipped with valuable information. Playfully, Dr. Casey suggests that he should consider himself fully briefed before heading to her quarters. The following morning, Dr. Rand is awakened by Dr. Solomon, the on-call physician at the site. Dr. Solomon urgently informs him that there is something of great importance that he needs to witness firsthand. Dr. Rand is guided by Dr. Solomon to a makeshift hospital where he is introduced to a remarkable sight. There lies a child whom the locals claim had been lifeless prior to the object's appearance. As they engage in conversation, Dr. Rand makes a startling observation. He realizes that not only has the child been revived, but his wounds have also inexplicably healed overnight, defying the laws of nature. The doctor, wondering if the object had triggered something, asks what Dr. Rand thinks of the situation, and Dr. Rand tells him that he doesn't know what's happening around here, but suggests he might have awoken from a death-like coma after the electric impulse was discharged, but adds that he doesn't know anything about medical biology. Within the confines of the base, Dr. Rand rendezvous with KC, a fellow researcher, to discuss their progress. Eager to delve deeper into their investigation, Casey inquires if Dr. Rand has managed to find a way to access the enigmatic object. In response, Dr. Rand retrieves a photograph from his pocket, hinting at a potential breakthrough. Curiosity piqued, he asks Casey if they have a live feed of the object. With a sense of anticipation, Dr. Casey obliges and presents Dr. Rand with a live feed showcasing the intricate indentations left by the object. The screen displays a mesmerizing sight, capturing the attention of both researchers. As they observe the feed, Dr. Rand's analytical mind begins to formulate a plan. Recognizing the significance of the indentations, he suggests that this is where they should focus their efforts. As they are about to leave, Dr. Rand seizes a moment to ask about the object's name. In response, Dr. Casey reveals that the enigmatic object is known among the locals as Taurus, adding an air of mystique to their mission. With the team now assembled, Dr. Casey and Dr. Rand embark on a journey to the site where Taurus resides. The anticipation is clear as they maneuver through the rugged terrain, their minds brimming with questions and possibilities. Just as they approach their destination, a sudden interruption jolts their focus. The military intercepts a distressing communication, alerting them to the presence of 2 fighter jets from China rapidly approaching the vicinity of Taurus. After reaching the point, Dr. Rand suggests they use the robotic arms of the vehicle they were in and place 9 of the fingers inside the circular indentation, as he thinks that it might be a key to unlock a gateway. Dr. Rand then asks for the exact coordinates of all 9 planets in the solar system, as he thinks it might be correlated to that. After a few attempts, they manage to open a door. After an argument with the captain, Dr. Rand says he's going to go in alone even if they don't follow, which forces Dr. Casey to pull rank and order the captain to go ahead with the mission, as the Chinese jets are going to reach the site any minute now. Inside the Taurus, they discover there was no contamination inside. Fearing there might be something deep inside that could be dangerous, Dr. Casey pulls back Rand herself from the mission and stays back as observers. As the captain and his team make their way down the Chinese jets' fire missiles and hit the Taurus, which triggers a defense mechanism that destroys both jets. The same defense mechanism also makes its way inside and reacts and takes one of the soldiers out after the team opens fire. The team eventually makes it back to the site, and the captain reports what happened. Dr. Rand blames the captain for what happened, which angers the captain and results in a physical altercation. The NSA later orders Dr. Rand to go in, and he suggests that they do so without the military, and Dr. Rand and KC go back in. In the Taurus, Rand and KC come across the soldier who had been taught dead after making contact with the energy orb that defends the inside quarters of the object. In China, a US ambassador and a Chinese ambassador negotiate the terms of the approach, and the Chinese government threatens that they will be forced to destroy the Taurus if full access isn't given to them back at the base. Dr. Rand asks Dr. Solomon to conduct tests on him, and he confesses to both the doctor and KC that he had ALS, a type of degenerative disease, and was given a year to live. After the examination was over, Dr. Solomon told Rand that he was clear and didn't show any signs of ever being sick. Overwhelmed with joy, Dr. Rand kisses KC. Mission lead, Alan makes his way to the medical base and sees the two kissing. Rand tells him of the miracle and suggests that the Taurus can alter and reconstitute DNA. Dr. KC and Rand then postulate that the Taurus must have been here for millions, if not billions of years, serving as a catalyst for life on Earth. Soon after, the Chinese army makes its way to the site to conduct a study of their own and is met by the American military, who refuses them entrance, suggesting they don't have authority to do so as they weren't granted the rigor by the Bhutanese government. The lead researcher from the Chinese government refuses and tries to make his way to the site, but at that moment gets shot by a runaway bullet from one of the soldiers. Alan manages to calm both sides down and calls on the doctor to check on the researcher. As the doctor examined the wound, the man made a full recovery. To the disbelief of both sides, he gets up and orders the army to go back to their camp. Later, both Dr. Rand and KC make their way back to the Taurus. While relaying a transmission to base where Alan was keeping tabs, they get taken by the orb and get transported to a vast, seemingly vacuum area. A door opens up and the energy orb reveals itself to be some sort of advanced machine. The machine shows visuals of the history of life on Earth and what's to come. Rand notices that it wants to terraform the Earth and restart again. Moments later, the pair are knocked unconscious and wake up where they started. The Taurus starts its plan for terraforming the Earth with a cloud cover set to inflict an ice age on the world within a brief period. Back at base, Dr. Rand reports to Alan that the Taurus is re-terraforming the Earth to make way for a new dominant species. As it has done before learning of the impact of the cloud, the United States government orders the military to blow up the Taurus Dr. Rand objects to the idea and runs to the site along with Dr. KC to stop the detonation of the bomb the military was placing inside the Taurus. The American ambassador then notifies the Chinese ambassador of the United States government's plan to detonate a nuclear bomb in an effort to destroy the Taurus, telling the ambassador the Chinese team has only 24 minutes to get away from the blast radius. In their attempt to neutralize the bomb, Rand and KC get captured, but in that instance, before the soldiers can take measure, the orb transports them to the bomb. The conflict also ensues at the base when the captain refuses to let the colonel and his men escape unless they deactivate the bomb. After realizing the colonel can't disable the bomb, the captain lets him go with 4 minutes to go while he and Alan await their fate. After attempting to disarm the bomb, Rand realizes that he can't. With few seconds left, he kisses KC. The bomb explodes but gets absorbed by the Taurus. Taurus, taking note of the sacrifice humans were willing to make to keep it safe, foregoes its mission, deeming humans worthy of further evolution. The Taurus then sheds its outer layer and makes its way up to the sky, leaving the Earth. 4 months later, while Rand is giving a speech about the events that led to the departure of the Taurus, Casey tells Rand that he's going to be father, stating that she was apparently not sterile anymore.